Welcome back for a Wednesday edition of On the Block. My name is Nate Brennan. He's the Husker Hall of Famer, Eric Strickland. You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket. As always, we want to hear from you, 402-464-5685. That's the Starter Heyman text line. Also, the Honda of Lincoln hotline. You can also check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. If you head over to YouTube, give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a share. Find anyone you know, a coworker, a friend, a cousin, a relative. I don't even know. Find someone that you hate for all I care. Find someone to send the link to. Subscribe to 93.7 The Ticket. We're going for 3,000 subscribers. That's our new goal. We appreciate every single one of you that helped us get to 2,000, but now we're looking for total YouTube domination. 3,000 is the next goal. Again, 402-464-5685. Starter Heyman text line, Honda Lincoln hotline. Strick, as always, we are brought to you by
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul.
Correct. Yes, we are.
That is the spot to be.
27th of Pine Lake.
Join us.
Yeah.
We always sometimes pop out there. Sometimes we'll do a remote out there. We definitely would love to have you guys come out there, sign some autographs. We're going to do something today also, Nate Dogg, that's going to be pretty cool. While I was in Dallas, happened to pick up a few of these right here. We're going to have a little trivia today. We'll do it again sometime throughout the day to kind of let you know when we're going to jump it off. Love to jump on.
That's awesome.
Stricky will make sure you guys have one of these on the show today. Yes.
A signed picture for anyone that's not on the video stream. Signed picture by Eric Strickland. It's a cool picture, too. What year was that taken?
Man, let me see. I wish I could see the shoes. I could tell you by the shoes.
Yeah, by the shoe. Were you a Jordan guy or a Nike guy?
No, I actually was a Reebok guy.
Oh, nice. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that time.
So when I first started, Nate, I was wearing the Iverson 3s.
Oh, nice.
When I came, and they were probably the best shoe I ever wore. But when I told them, I said, hey, can you send me those AIs? They said it's a no-go. I said, dang it.
What do you mean a no-go?
They won't let you wear Allen shoes.
Wait, what?
They wouldn't let it. Back then, you couldn't wear the Star shoes. They wouldn't let me. They said,
really?
Yeah. But now they do. They'll let you wear them.
I was going to say everyone wears LeBrons and Durant's and Kobe's at the time when he was still playing too, and that's interesting. I'm trying to think, Reebok, their big guy was Shaq, wasn't it?
They did have Shaq for a period, but I think Allen was the guy for them. Yeah.
That's awesome. I always loved that. I remember it was a couple of years back. I think it was Lance Stevenson had a deal with And One. And I always like the guys that just have like the random shoe deal, not the Nike, Adidas, or whatever. And Kawhi Leonard, I don't know if he still has a shoe deal with New Balance.
Stephon Marbury was an And One guy too. Until he had his own shoe.
I love that. Oh, he went over to China. Shoe?
Yeah, he created his own shoe that used to sell in Walmarts and all over places like that. And then he went over to China, and of course, you freaking got a billion people over there.
Yeah.
And they loved him over there. He was like,
doesn't he have a
statue? Was like the Michael Jordan. Yeah.
Yeah, he is a statue.
He was like the Michael Jordan of China, and they freaking bought all their shoes up and created a nice business for
some reason. I want to say Andre Blatch has a statue somewhere too.
Really?
Somewhere overseas. That might not be right. Don't quote me on that. But for some reason I thought that I know Stephon Marbury has a statue over there.
I know that's
which is awesome.
That's
and sure. I don't know those shoes, whatever it may be. Oh well, we're getting sidetracked. But yeah, Strick is going to be giving out a signed photo, really cool photo. So make sure you stick with us throughout the show. We're going to be giving that away. Strick, before we get into our interview with Evan Bland, he's going to be joining us. We're also going to have Brian Munson coming on in the second hour too. So we're going to get a lot of breaking down the Purdue game, where Nebraska currently stands, all that good stuff. But I know we wanted to talk a little bit yesterday. Mark Whipple speaking to the media and had some interesting things to say. So I'll go ahead and play that soundbite now, and then we'll discuss it.
Best thing about last week, not going back, was when I walked in at halftime, the look in their eyes on offense, and we played terrible, and I did a bad job coaching all that, and we're bad on third down, was there wasn't like, woe is me. It was, hey, I said, we're going to take the ball second half. Here's the plays. We're going to go down and score, and the game will be changed right there, and we're going to win the game. And that's it. And they all believed in it, and that's a credit to Mickey and to the offensive coaches and all the guys that way. Sometimes you go into like a little bandbox locker room like they had, and you can't see anybody. It's like junior high, but they kind of they're closer together and everything else. And so that's when you went on the road, it can really help you. And we're looking forward to playing Purdue, who's got a really, really good football team.
Strick?
Absolutely loved it. And here's what you saw. You saw the adjustment, but you also saw the players grasp that.
Right.
So they took that and went out, and you saw the fulfillment of it with an Anthony Grant bulldozering.
Sets the tone.
Sets the tone, man.
Absolutely.
It came out, and they were just like, listen, that kind of confidence has to be bred by the top. You know what I mean? Like, for example, when Alabama plays a game and they're down and they're struggling and they're having troubles, one of the things that they believe that the confidence is from the top. Nick Saban always believes in them, that no matter what it looks like, they are in position and they have a chance to win.
They're going to win.
That translates then and goes to a Bryce Young, who then says, I don't care what it looks like. I don't care who's hurt. I don't care what receivers are catching, dropping. I'm still launching it to you. We're going to find a way to win. And then the defense does the same. And that's the thing that comes from the top. And so you're in a situation where in the past you had a 13-0. You can see the heads. You can see the heads down. You can see the half-hearted effort. You can see the, just hands on the hips, type of things. And you didn't see that. And where does it come from? I think it comes from the head. It comes from the leadership. It comes from those in the room that actually believe. You got to believe.
I love the sweatshirt, by the way.
You got to believe.
Yeah.
Rosemary Tucker gave me this this shirt, and it's she has a wonderful foundation that's doing tremendous things out in Houston. I'll probably have her on the show sometime.
Yeah,
that's the thing, man. I think they have to believe. They have to believe that it can get it done, and that's what they did. They got the stops. They did enough to win the game.
And I think what's so crazy too is when you talk about that belief in someone like Mark Whipple going into the locker room and saying, we're going to win this game. So many times in Nebraska recently, you kind of can say that all you want, but there's always the feeling, oh my gosh, here it comes. Nebraska, like they're not going to pull it out. I think for this team to have that confidence of saying, okay, our coach looked us in the eye and he said, you're going to win this football game, and actually execute that and actually do it is what is going to propel this team forward. Because so many times, I mean, how many times last year did they probably hear the same thing? Is we're going to go out and we're going to win this game. And guess what? You laid an egg and you didn't. And now you have that mental aspect of it, because it has to be Strick. You can talk about it from an athlete. When you go on a losing streak, or when you go a couple games and you come so close and you end up losing, that gets in your head.
It does.
It does. And now, you know what's in the back of their head now is we just won back-to-back games in the Big Ten. In a game when there was adversity, when you had to show up, you did.
Exactly.
You did.
And again, I'm sorry. Shout out to Rosemary Tucker. Hoodies for Healing. That was the name of the foundation.
I was about to say, what is it? Yeah.
Hoodies for Healing. Got to believe. So listen, you've got to be in a position mentally, in the mental frame of mind, right? So when it happened to us in basketball, I mean, the feelings on the plains, the dejectedness, the half-heartedness in practice, all of that stuff came into play. And then it came to a point where enough is enough. How do you want the rest of your season, the rest of your, what do you want them to say about you for the rest? Yeah, Strick, you guys started off well. You came in as a freshman of the year, all defensive team. All those things are good, but you guys were best. We probably had the second or third best team in the Big Eight by far that year. And we end up laying an egg. And then you go and you finish it the way we did. That's what I'm talking about for this Nebraska team. Listen, no matter what you say in the beginning of this season, what it looked like, how bad you played, how terrible you looked against Georgia Southern, how Northwestern can't win a freaking game, but they got your name on the W column. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. You are in control of your own destiny. You got a chance to win and change the whole narrative. I don't care if they say, oh, well, it's a weak Big Ten West Conference.
Which everyone keeps talking about.
I don't care what you say about it. You won the Big Ten West. You've got to listen, I'm not getting ahead of myself. I'm just saying that's the way you change your narrative. And right now, you're in a great situation because everybody and their mama, to include all pundits, media, everybody. I mean, not saying us in here, but a lot of people right now are saying you have no chance.
13.5-point underdogs.
You have no chance. And I would use every ounce of that to change the narrative. We'll be underdogs. We'll be that, but we believe. That's what.
And you've shown it now too. And that's the biggest thing is I think that mental hurdle of always coming up just short. Now you can say in a competitive game like that, you finally came out on top. And I think that really goes a long way. I think it's really going to propel this team forward. And I think it gives Nebraska a fighter's chance against Purdue. More than anything, I think it gives Nebraska a chance, and there's a reason to think that Nebraska can pull this out. We got to take a quick break. We're going to have Evan Bland, Omaha World Herald. He's going to break down Purdue for us. We're going to talk some more Nebraska football because we're getting ready for possibly third straight win this weekend. Lots to discuss. We'll have Evan Bland coming up next right here on The Block.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 27th Street.
They might win, they might lose, but either way, you have something to say about it. Don't miss the Husker After Party postgame show immediately following every Nebraska football game. Nick Sainert and Jake Bachhoven give instant reaction, quotes from the players and coaches, and take all your phone calls with thoughts on the game. It's the Husker After Party postgame show, only on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sponsored by Action Plumbing and Heating, Gary Michaels Clothiers, and Brent Excavating.
People first is more than a nice sentiment. At American Senior Benefits, it's the mission. If you're ready for a career where you can truly put your customers' needs ahead of everything else, this is for you. American Senior Benefits is one of the leading senior market insurance product distributors in the country, and they're looking for high-energy applicants with strong communication skills. Enjoy on-the-job training, a fun work environment, and unlimited income potential. Visit asbmidwest.com to learn more. American Senior Benefits.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Windy and cooler here for our Wednesday with an afternoon high of around 70. Northwest winds could eventually gust over 30 by later this afternoon. Tonight mainly clear, a low dropping down to around 45. It will be windy again tomorrow. Northwest winds once again gusting to around 35 with a high of 64. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese Beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Need to send a message? Send it with cake. Congratulations? Here's a congratulations chocolate rum cake from Beatrice Bakery. Thank you? Say thank you with an amaretto cake. I'm sorry that I accidentally hit your mailbox with my car as I was backing out of the driveway and then continued right into your prized petunias. You say that with a lemon drop cake. Everybody knows that. Beatrice Bakery in downtown Beatrice or online at beatricebakery.com. Here to help you say whatever it is you need to say. Welcome to our world of yum.
At Venue Catering and Events, we offer two of the most historic ballrooms in Lincoln. The Jasmine Room, located in the historic Grand Manse in the heart of downtown, featuring a beautiful built-in antique bar, spacious patio, and soaring skylit ceilings. The Scottish Rite Ballroom, located just 2 blocks from the state's capital, boasts intricate hand-carved columns, rich dark wood floors, and lavish chandeliers. The perfect venues to host your wedding, corporate event, or much more. For availability and more information, call us at 402-603-6483.
Hey, Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Another packed fall sports season means it's time to get to N Street Drive-In to fill up on all your beverage needs. Right now, they have tons of fall seasonals and Oktoberfest beers, and you can check out their First Street Brewing and Lucky Bucket selections as their beers of the month. Also, make sure to download the new N Street Drive-In app to order online and to set up delivery right to your front door. And don't forget their top-notch crowler fill system. N Street Drive-In, your one-stop beverage stop at 1801 O Street.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 330 North 48th Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
I grew up hearing that women are bad with money, but like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. And now I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and jumpstart your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Nate on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to On the Block. A very happy Wednesday to all of you. My name is Nate Brennan. He is Eric Strickland, the Husker Hall of Famer, 9-year NBA vet. Going to be giving away a signed photo later on in the show, so make sure to stay tuned. Going to have a little trivia. Strick's got a pretty cool photo, too. We still don't know what year because we can't see the shoes, but
it's got to be in the shoes. It's got to be the shoes.
When you were on the Mavericks. So when Strick was on the Mavericks, we're going to give away
I might be able to tell by the haircut. That could have been 98.
Did you get some different haircuts?
Could have been.
No. Always kind of had the clean cut.
I did at one time have braids.
Oh, really? I don't know if I
grew it out. I was kind of just I was New York City frustrated and just,
well, yeah, I know you didn't like Vancouver.
Then I shaved it off when I went to Boston.
There you go. Yeah. You got the clean cut look. It looks good. 402-464-5685. Saturday Evening Text Line, Honda of Lincoln Hotline. We want to hear from you as always. And right now we're going to hear from Evan Bland from the Omaha World Herald. Evan, how many hairdos or haircuts have you gone through in your life?
Not a ton. There was a time, I was in high school in the early 2000s, so I did dabble in the frosted tips for a short time. That didn't last as that fad didn't last. And now I'm in my mid 30s, and I knew I was going to go kind of grayish white early, and so I'm just sort of leaning into it. Like I thought about coloring it once upon a time. I suppose I keep it short, keep it simple, and just kind of roll from there.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame now that I'm on TV, which I guess unfortunate for me because I had a mullet and I was going to grow the mullet back out, but unfortunately my contract, I'm not allowed to get a mullet, so we're going to be sticking with a little bit more of the clean cut look. Evan Bland, Omaha World Herald, joining us. Evan, we got a soundbite that we played earlier. I want to go ahead and play it for you just to kind of get your thoughts. I'm going to play it now. It's yesterday. It's Mark Whipple. You've probably heard it, but we want to get your thoughts on, so I'll play it right now for you.
Best thing about last week, not going back, was when I walked in at halftime, the look in their eyes on offense, and we played terrible, and I did a bad job coaching all that, and we're bad on third down, there wasn't like, woe is me. It was, hey, I said, we're going to take the ball second half. Here's the plays. We're going to go down and score, and the game will be changed right there, and we're going to win the game. And that's it. And they all believed in it, and that's a credit to Mickey and to the offensive coaches and all the guys that way. Sometimes you go into like a little bandbox locker room like they had, and you can't see anybody. It's like junior high, but they kind of they're closer together and everything else. And so that's when you went on the road, it can really help you. And we're looking forward to playing Purdue, who's got a really, really good football team.
Evan, after hearing that and knowing what Nebraska's gone through, kind of in particular the Scott Frost era, what's your kind of initial thoughts from that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think he's right. And I've actually asked some different players sort of similar questions this week where it's like, man, if you've been around this program for, a couple years, 3-4 years, like what's going on right now is about as high as the belief has been, right? I mean, you go back to 2018 when they beat Illinois and Michigan State in consecutive weeks. I suppose that's really the only point of comparison because otherwise they just haven't been able to string together wins against Big Ten teams the way that they have now. So I think that's one of the interesting sort of things about this weekend is how much is momentum worth? How does that carry over? Because I think you see it every year where there's like a handful of teams in college or pro where like maybe you have the right kind of sort of combination of opponents to start off or things go your way early and then things just sort of snowball and it manifests and people believe and they buy into whatever the message or the strategy is and it goes from there. And so we haven't seen that at Nebraska in a long time where now they're winners of 2 straight. They're double-digit underdogs at Purdue. But, like, right now, like, you talk to those guys on defense, they believe. Like, they pitching consecutive shutouts in the second half the way they did against Indiana and Rutgers. Like, they're bought into what's going on. And I think there's some value in that. But I'll be curious, how much of that has been maybe the opponent, considering the level of offenses that they've faced, and how much of that is just figuring some things out, tapping into the ability that was already there and sort of taking that to the next level. So, I mean, it was a common refrain all week that, that win at Rutgers, as ugly as it was at different points, I mean, it was a win. And those are situations Nebraska has not found itself on the positive end of, I mean, in years, literally. So for them to do that was a big step forward. And I'll just be curious to see, I think, as Mark Whipple said, how that translates to a better opponent again on the road at Purdue.
Evan, let's stay there because one of the things that this Purdue team is going to pose, we've been continuously talking about the progression of the schedule that has brought it to this point, and this is probably the best passing offense that they're going to see outside of an Ohio State. Michigan will pose a different type of balance for them, and what would be the approach, do you think, that the defense would be looking for this particular game? Is it, would you say, an aggressive standpoint? Because you do have to get pressure on Aiden O'Connell, but also, or would you say more of a bend but don't break type of a defensive approach? What would you see? Because the running game is obviously needs to be stopped. You cannot allow this team who does not run the ball to have 100+ yards. That would be dangerous. So what do you think would be probably the best approach in this particular game?
Yeah, it's a good question because, we kind of have a sense of what Purdue has been under Jeff Brom. Like you said, they're going to pass a lot. They're really creative with it. Brom has earned his reputation as one of the better play callers in college football. You look at what they've done this year, they're actually a little bit better in the running game than they have been. Typically, they're like last in the Big Ten in terms of what they do on the ground. But this year, a little bit better. You have to respect that part of their game a little bit more. I think, when you talk about what Nebraska has to do, I would use the context clues that we've gotten the last 2 weeks, where especially as it comes to defending the pass, like they've been a lot more aggressive under Bill Busch, like in terms of press man coverage. They're not given those 5 or 10 yard cushions and allowing teams to sort of nickel and dime you all the way down the field. So I would anticipate that they'd be pretty aggressive in that way. I think, we heard from Ty Robinson earlier this week on the D line, who said, you got to stop the run first and earn the right to rush the passer. But they feel like they've, sort of figured some things out in terms of just being able to cut loose. That was sort of the big thing with Ty Robinson specifically, cut loose and get after it. And so I think there's some confidence there. And then just the other things that the defense has worked on, right? Getting set quickly. So your feet are set and you're ready to roll. Like those are not getting lost sort of in the calls and the minutia of the moment, but just playing football. And so I think that's probably where you start with Nebraska. For what it's worth, I think the Huskers have done a pretty good job against Purdue over the last 3 or 4 years in terms of stopping kind of what they do and generally staying home. I think of Cam Taylor-Britt and some of the big games he's had against some of, some pretty good Purdue receivers over the years. And, guys like David Bell are gone, but you've got Charlie Jones on that side, who's a big playmaker for
Iowa.
Purdue. It's going to be interesting to see how they do it. Though I would, again, anticipate that they're going to be pretty aggressive. I think if you're Nebraska, you're going to live with getting burned a couple of times, maybe, if that also means that aggressiveness translates into a couple of takeaways.
Evan Bland, Omaha World Herald, joining us. Evan, you mentioned the double-digit underdog. From what you've gathered and what you've heard from players, coaches, do you think this underdog mentality, or kind of the position that they're in right now, 13.5-point underdogs on the road, do you think that's a good spot for Nebraska to be in and maybe create a little bit of a chip on their shoulder?
Yeah, I don't think it can hurt. As much as this program's been through the years, it's hard to find a lot of situations where they would be the favorites or where they would feel like they could just go out there and dominate. Like it's just, there's too much parity. There's too much talent, especially in the Big Ten, for that to be the case. Right. But, I do get the sense that they're locked in on what matters. Even this week, a couple of questions again about the defense. Guys were asked about black shirts and when those are coming back and if they've come back. And it really, their response was kind of like, no, that's not even like on our radar. We're trying to think about, Purdue schemes and what we can do to stop them and play well. So like it feels and it sounds like their thoughts and their heads are in the right place, with stuff on the field as opposed to sort of the extra ancillary stuff off of it. And so, double digit for what it's worth to me, I thought that was a bit of a big spread. I thought it'd be maybe 7-8 point difference, something like that. 13.5 is a lot. So I don't know that, that's necessarily reflective of the talent gap between these two teams. But, again, Nebraska hasn't performed well when it's been the favorite in these situations, and maybe it can reverse it and go the other way. And I've talked about this with colleagues too. It feels like very rarely is Nebraska in the situation where it has nothing to lose, right? Like there's always the pressure on them to win, even if they're not the better team. And it feels like maybe they're starting to shake a little bit of that this week, where you can play free and you're not necessarily expected to win just because, hey, it's Purdue on the other side. I think there's a healthy respect there, and maybe that'll serve them well.
Evan, let's turn offensively. Some of the things that I think in listening to Whipple in that comment, I think we all feel the same. But I also want to say, would you say they need to be more creative? Anthony Grant had a struggle in this last game. Purdue will probably pose some of the same type of problems there. Do you think maybe getting Anthony Grant a little bit more involved in the pass game, into the screen game, would maybe help alleviate some of the pressure with the trouble of the offensive line at this point?
Well, yeah, maybe. One thing that Whipple said today that caught my attention was when he was explaining his 4th and 1 call to pass it there late in the third quarter when they're on the Rutgers 27, and he laid out a few different reasons why they did that. But one of them was they wanted to protect Anthony Grant. They felt like when you look at the workload that he's had over the last couple of weeks, you're talking more than 50 carries, a handful of catches. He had that hit on the Rutgers defender that laid him out on the sideline there that everyone remembers. So like he's taken a physical toll, and you still got half of your season left. So I think, you have to be selective maybe a little bit with what you do with Anthony Grant. And that's probably where you miss A.J. Allen a little bit with the injury that he had that ended his season with the collarbone. He was really looking like a serviceable number 2 running back there. So they've been a little light. I think that's part of it. And then when you talk about creativity with the offense, I mean, to me, it's the conversation is more about how do you protect your quarterback with an offensive line that just going on 2 years now has not been a good pass blocking team. And so, you don't want to be dropping back your quarterback 40 times and him getting hit 20. I mean, that's just a recipe for injury and chaos and turnovers and things like that. So, to me, it's about how do you get the ball out of Casey Thompson's hands quickly in a creative way, whether that's some sort of a draw or a screen or, whatever else it might be. I don't think you don't have the luxury of the full range of creativity that maybe a top end offensive line could be. So play to their strengths, which is, they're an average, I think maybe slightly above average run blocking unit. So lean on that a little bit more. But I think as we saw with Rutgers, you can't just rely on the traditional, 3 or 5 step drop sort of plays with any consistency. And when you look at Nebraska's schedule in the second half, I mean, every single one of these defenses is good. And a few of them are really good, like top 10 sort of good when you talk about Michigan and Iowa and even Minnesota. So I think that's kind of where it has to come for me is be creative, but in the sense of making sure some of your top playmakers stay healthy.
It'll certainly be interesting because up to this point, Purdue has not given up a 100-yard rusher. Hopefully that changes. Evan, we could talk to you all day about Nebraska football, but unfortunately we're running out of time. We know you're a busy man, but if people want to get more great content from you heading into the game against Purdue, how can they do so?
Yeah, same as always on Twitter at Evan Bland, OWH, Omaha.com, HuskerExtra.com. We have content on a couple different platforms there, and we'll be gassing up and heading out to West Lafayette this weekend. So it should be another adventure.
Awesome. Evan, we appreciate you. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, guys.
All right, there he goes. Evan Bland, Omaha World Herald. Great stuff as always. And like I said, we could talk to him all day about this because there's so many different storylines going into this one. But it'll certainly be interesting and it'll be entertaining because, like I said, Purdue has yet to give up a 100-yard rusher. Nebraska certainly going to try and get Anthony Grant going in this one. We got to take a quick break. Shootout with Strick is next. The champ is here. Your chance to win $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings is on the line. All you got to do is call 402-464-5685. Honda of Lincoln Hotline. We'll play Shootout with Strick next right here on The Block.
Breakfast tacos, brisket tacos, pork tacos, chicken tacos. You hungry yet? I can keep going. Pork or chicken, queso nachos, queso mac and cheese, hatch mac burritos. Now you're salivating. Muchachos is Lincoln's premier New Mexico barbecue fusion restaurant, and you can't miss them in their bright blue building. Pair that great food with delicious coffee for breakfast and a variety of local and national beers on tap the rest of the day. Order your food online at yomuchacho.com or visit them in person at Muchachos on South 11th Street between L and K Streets. Need to send a message? Send it with cake. Congratulations? Here's a congratulations chocolate rum cake from Beatrice Bakery. Thank you? Say thank you with an amaretto cake. I'm sorry that I accidentally hit your mailbox with my car as I was backing out of the driveway and then continued right into your prized petunias. You say that with a lemon drop cake. Everybody knows that. Beatrice Bakery in downtown Beatrice or online at beatricebakery.com. Here to help you say whatever it is you need to say. Welcome to our world of yum.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 27th Street.
Another packed fall sports season means it's time to get to N Street Drive-In to fill up on all your beverage needs. Right now, they have tons of fall seasonals and Oktoberfest beers, and you can check out their First Street Brewing and Lucky Bucket selections as their beers of the month. Also, make sure to download the new N Street Drive-In app to order online and to set up delivery right to your front door. And don't forget their top-notch crowler fill system. N Street Drive-In, your one-stop beverage stop at 1801 O Street. A good game with good friends. But isn't it time to up the score when it comes to the food? Wings and Rings is here for every football fan. Catch the game on one of their big screens or snag a tailgate pack to go. They're cranking up the heat and throwing in mad flavor this season. Stop by your locally owned Wings and Rings on O Street, Meridian Park, or 48th and Old Cheney in Williamsburg Village, or grab some crave-worthy Wings and Rings to go. Make them your go-to destination to watch your team bring home the win. Wings and Rings. Game time just got better.
Build your network, experience local business, and find out what local merchants have to offer, all at the Lincoln Expo on Wednesday, October 19th at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Stop by from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. It's free to attend. More details at lcoc.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
It's tailgate season. Why would you bounce around from place to place for all your beverage needs when you could have it all in one place? Wine, Beer, and Spirits has everything for your parties with their 3 locations in Lincoln, Grand Island, and Omaha. It's the largest liquor store in the state, and here's the best part. You can get a drink from their bar and walk around with it as you shop for all your tailgate necessities. Locally owned and operated, it's Wine, Beer, and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game!
When you hear that sound, you know it is officially time to play the game. Your chance to win $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. All you got to do is call us at 402-464-5685. That's the Honda of Lincoln hotline. 5 questions for you, 5 for Strick, one of them being a money ball, 6 points in total on the line. You just got to beat Strick at his own game. 402-464-5685. That's the Honda of Lincoln hotline, but it might be a little bit difficult to beat him today. I'll go ahead and warn you because we have this.
The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here!
Strick warming up. I still stand by, Strick. This is always the happiest I see you. You've won 3 in a row. The champ is here, warming up, ready to go to a boxing match, ready to go to fights, ready to duel, all that good stuff. So might be a little bit difficult to beat Strick. It's been a while since you got the champ is here, Strick.
Hey, it's been a minute.
It's been a while.
I feel good about it, though.
I know, you feel good.
It's probably because you came back, man.
I know.
And there's no Rico in the building.
That's
I think
right.
that's what it is.
You're officially back. It's very impressive to see that the champ is here. And your competitor today will be Newt. Newt, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Oh.
I like his energy. I like his energy here. Hopefully I can feed off that a little bit.
Feed off me, Newt. We're
right.
going to have a good game today, man. I'm looking forward to it. Maybe we'll go down to the end.
Yeah, maybe we'll go to a tiebreaker. But Newt, you know how this goes. We're going to have you stay on the line. As always, we need
No
to get
Google.
Strick's answers first in order to see how many points you got to get in order to win the
No Google.
No Google. No Google machine, because Strick today, your questions are Purdue, how they've looked so far this season. So we're going to see how much you really have been paying attention to Purdue this year. So more than anything, it'll be fun for the listeners because you can go in and talk about some Purdue trivia before the game, and your friends will be impressed.
You got to believe, Newt.
You got to believe. You got to believe. All right, Strick, are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, we will start in 3, 2, and 1. He has the second most passing yards for Purdue. Austin Burton or Brady Allen?
Burton.
That is correct. He leads Purdue in receiving yards. Charlie Jones or Payne Durham?
Jones.
That is correct. He leads Purdue in tackles this season. Jack Sullivan or Sonosi Kane?
King.
That is correct. Purdue's most recent win was against who? Maryland or Wisconsin?
Maryland.
That is correct. And for the sweep, Purdue started the season with a loss to this Big Ten school.
10.
Got plenty of time.
8.
Started the season, lost to this team.
6. 5. 4. 3.
Illinois.
2, 1.
Won't get the money ball.
Dang it.
It was Penn State.
Son of a sucker.
you probably remember that one.
I do now.
Yeah.
Gosh dang it.
Penn State to start out the season. For what it's worth, Penn State hasn't lost since, so they're undefeated.
How many points
They're
I get?
undefeated so far. So you got 4.
Dang it.
Still a solid number. I think the money ball would have helped you because I'll be honest, Newt's money ball is
look at
easier.
I knew
No.
it. I knew it.
Thing, Strick, that I set up the sweep for you. I set up the sweep. And
Oh,
you had a chance.
sucker.
I know you had a chance. So Newt, you got to get 4 to tie, send it to a tiebreaker, or you can get 5 to win. How are you feeling?
All right, I'll give this a shot here.
All right, Newt, I believe in you.
I believe in you too, Newt.
All right, Newt, we will start in 3, 2, and 1. He leads Purdue in rushing yards. Devin Maccabee or Dylan Downing?
Downing.
It's actually Maccabee. He is second for Purdue in receiving touchdowns. Deion Burks or Payne Durham?
Durham.
That is correct. He leads Purdue in interceptions. Cam Allen or Chris Jefferson?
Jefferson.
It's actually Allen. Purdue has lost to this ACC school on the road. NC State or Syracuse?
NC State.
It's actually Syracuse. Purdue is led by this star quarterback.
9, 8.
I don't know.
Oh, you know this one, Newt.
Aiden O'Connell.
Aiden O'Connell is the answer, Newt.
Newt, I even gave it to you before the second ran out. I would have let you get that.
Man. Get a good interview for you today.
Yeah, that's right.
Newt,
the champ.
I wanted you to win the chicken, Newt.
I know. He set you up, Newt, but that's okay because luckily for you, Strick does play for the people. He is a humble champ, we will say. So go ahead and hang up, Newt, because the third caller number 3, go ahead and call us now. You will get $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings, courtesy of Eric Strickland. Strick, here you go.
Boom shakalaka. Finish him.
Flawless.
Yeah.
No.
Not flawless.
I said, give me a hell yeah.
Impressive victory, Strick. So I'm going to be
He's on fire.
I know. Do I have that one? You are on fire. Let me hear. Give me just a second. I should have played that one yesterday.
Yeah, come on, Nate.
I know.
He's on fire.
Where is it?
Nate,
Here we go.
you're killing me.
All right, here we go. You ready for this?
Somebody should put a straitjacket on this guy. He's on fire.
With a little jump shot, too, on that one. Strick is officially on fire. So for what it's worth, Strick, you're going to have to make sure that Bach, Nick, whoever is in the studio has the sounder because the champ is still here, so you still deserve that. I will be headed over to land of Hokies. I will be the land of the Hokies. Virginia Tech. I'm going to see Virginia Tech play against Miami. It's homecoming, so my buddies from college, we're going to have some cold beverages.
He's a Hokie homer.
I am a Hokie homer. And that will continue because I get to see them hopefully beat Miami. So that'll be a fun time. So your tiebreaker today, for what it's worth, Virginia Tech, they're led by star linebacker Dax Hollifield, one of the only bright spots in Virginia Tech is they're 2-4. So through 6 games this season, how many total tackles does he have?
52.
Ooh, that's actually pretty close. It would be slightly under. He's at 47. So 47 is the number for Dax Hollifield. Hopefully that number will increase. He's going for 100. So probably would need to make a bowl game for that to happen. And I don't really know if I entirely see that come up. But it doesn't matter because we're going to watch Virginia Tech. We're going to see Enter Sandman. We're going to see them hopefully beat Miami because I think we can all agree we hate Miami. We do not want to see Miami to win, especially in Lane Stadium. So that'll be fun. But
we're not hearing the West Virginia song.
No. It's because it's about Virginia. You know, Strick. Come on. Give me credit where credit's due. But that'll do it for the first hour of On the Block. Like I said, tomorrow it will be Strick and I believe Nick, Bach, or Rico. I'm not entirely sure which one, but they'll be stepping in because I'm going to the land of Hokie. Hopefully going to see a win for the Virginia Tech Hokies. But I'm still here for another hour because we got another hour of On the Block coming up next right here, 93.7. Let's take it.
Build your network, experience local business, and find out what local merchants have to offer, all at the Lincoln Expo on Wednesday, October 19th at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Stop by from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. It's free to attend. More details at lcoc.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
It's tailgate season. Why would you bounce around from place to place for all your beverage needs when you could have it all in one place? Wine, Beer, and Spirits has everything for your parties with their 3 locations in Lincoln, Grand Island, and Omaha. It's the largest liquor store in the state, and here's the best part. You can get a drink from their bar and walk around with it as you shop for all your tailgate necessities. Locally owned and operated, it's Wine, Beer, and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. And you can check out our spaces before you visit in person with a virtual campus tour. An opportunity to see our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, and Milford as you learn about our programs and areas of study. There are virtual tours of our learning centers too. We can even take you on a personalized virtual tour. Learn more on our website, southeast.edu/visit-SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the Ticket crew live from Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Brought to you by A1 Automotive, Mullen Motors, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Bauer Underground, Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group, and Ritchie Brothers.
This message is for Karina. Our mom will finish her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
This is On the Block with Strick and Nate. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three. You're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
And Hokie Homer turned Husker, Nathan Brennan.
Everyone knows that I'm the smartest person here.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Nate.
We're back on the block. Strick and Nate Doggy Dog, the Hokie Homer, who is on his way back to Blacksburg to see the Virginia Tech Hokies take this L. Oh no, I didn't mean.
Come on.
No jokes all aside.
You can't like Miami. Come on.
We're hoping that he's able to have a successful trip. But at the end of the day, he is leaving Stricky and On the Block for a few days. So I'll be joined by potentially Nick, Rico, or the Boxster. And we're very familiar with the Boxster. He's On the Block alum. So there's some things that we want to talk about right now on the block. You're on 93.7 The Ticket at ticketfm.com. As always, like, subscribe to the YouTube. We're on our way to 3,000. Also hit that like button, and that will allow the algorithm to push us out there to others as well. Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook is the other platforms to which we find ourselves on the block. Thank you, Blockheads, for always tuning in. But right now, there's some NFL talk that I want to talk about. I know some of us do not like the Dallas Cowboys, but there is a looming kind of maybe some trouble. Just kind of looming under the, just under the surface a little bit. There's a little something looming under the surface. Let's talk about it a little bit. And Jerry Jones, we all know that Jerry Jones is the leader of the pack. The Cowboys, so to speak, they are 4-1 right now, and they're having a potential quarterback return in Dak Prescott, who has missed the last 4 games after suffering a fractured right thumb in the season opening loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He thinks he's ready. They removed the stitches October the 4th. One of the things that Jerry Jones said that they want to see is him to be able to spin that ball. He needs to be able to make the throws. But here's a looming problem. He thinks he's day-to-day. We don't know what the grip strength is going to be like. But the real gripping problem is that Cooper Rush right now is 4-0 as the backup. They are playing against the 5-0 Philadelphia Eagles. So you have a division rival coming on with a looming prospect of a quarterback issue. Who's going to be running with the ones and who's going to be getting all the reps? We don't know what that is. It is not clear as to what Prescott's situation is, but we do know that Cooper Rush is leading the charge right now, and he has been doing so. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions in the last 4 games. Wasn't called on to do much against the LA Rams. They dominated that game from start to finish with a 22-10 victory. What say you on the Sutter Heyman text line? 402-464-5685. Should Dak Prescott return? As you know, Jerry Jones says that, listen, he is the starter. If he's ready, he's going to play. Would you, Nate, insert Dak Prescott after you have a hot Cooper Rush right now going up against the 5-0 Philadelphia Eagles? Would you make the move to put Dak Prescott in there and risk it?
See, this one's interesting. I'm going to dive into the numbers a little bit so everyone can get a little bit of a better perspective. So against the Buccaneers, that's when the Cowboys would score 3 points. They would lose that week 1 matchup. Dak Prescott, 14 of 29, 134 yards, a pick, quarterback rating of 19.5. Now Cooper Rush would come in, wouldn't do much better, get sacked a couple times, has a QBR of 15. Then is when it gets interesting. So from then on out, Cooper Rush would be the starter. They would beat the Bengals 20-17, beat the Giants on the road.
Great win.
Because the Giants, if you remember, that's the Giants' only loss this season.
Yeah.
So the Cowboys would then beat the Giants on the road 23-16. They would host the Commanders. They beat them 25-10. And then the defending Super Bowl champions, they would go to LA and win 22-10.
Great defense. Aaron Donald
Mm-hmm.
got it done.
So Cooper Rush now sits at 4-0 on the season as the starter. Dak Prescott, small sample size, but he's 0-1 as the starter this season. What's really fascinating is they're now going against the Eagles, who, no matter which way you want to slice it, no matter which way you want to look at it, the only remaining undefeated team in the NFL. That's just facts. That's just how it goes. Do I think they're the best team in the NFL?
Jalen Hurts getting it done.
Yeah,
Give him the bag.
Yeah.
No, I'm just playing.
I
don't know. I think I might have went too far.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe it'll be interesting to see. But the Eagles have the best record in the NFL. Do I think they're the best team? No. But this is a divisional game. So the winner of this will be in sole first place of the division. So the Eagles are in sole first place right now. If they dropped the Cowboys would hold the tiebreaker. They'd both be sitting at 5-1. On the other side, the Eagles then would be in sole first place, still be undefeated. What's interesting is that would then put Cooper Rush at 5-0, and you would have wins over the defending AFC champions in the Cincinnati Bengals. You would have the only win against the New York Football Giants, who now sit at 4-1, and you would have a win against the defending Super Bowl champions. And then on top of that, you would have a win against the team that currently has the best record in the NFL.
That part.
On the road.
Talk to me.
Strick, I didn't think I would ever be this guy. But I think if Cooper Rush somehow wins again against the Eagles, I don't care how it looks. I don't care if it's a Jimmy G situation that the defense plays well. They find a way to win the game. Micah Parsons has another breakout game. He looks like an early favorite to win the Defensive Player of the Year.
Without TJ Watt.
Without TJ.
Listen, TJ Watt was on fire before he got hurt.
Guy, right?
He was that guy.
Right.
Let's just be real.
I think if they beat the Eagles on the road and now are in sole first place, driver's seat in the NFC East, I don't think you can make the move. I know you paid Dak all the money. I get it. I understand. I think Dak Prescott might be the better quarterback, but listen, the record speaks for itself. And we as Nebraska fans certainly know just win the football game. I don't care who plays quarterback. I don't care how you win it. I don't care if the defensive side of the ball shows up. I don't care if Jalen Hurts has the worst game of the season. Win the football game. You play to win the game. And if Cooper Rush sits here at 5-0 on the season with wins against all the teams that I said and the Eagles on the road, I say leave him in.
Blockhead GMs. E. Stricky wants to hear from you. Blockhead GMs, 402-464-5685. I want to know, what move do you make in this? I think if he listen, you're in a great position. If you win this game, you hold tiebreakers over everybody in the division. Your schedule doesn't get crazy after that. Run the schedule to me.
So then after the Cowboys, they'll host the Lions, who are 1-4.
There you go.
Host the Bears, 2-3, who before the season were the early favorite to have the number 1 overall pick. And then you go on the road against the Packers, who have looked incredibly mediocre this season. So that's 3 winnable games immediately after that.
Exactly. So therefore, that becomes another question after that. So then, does Cooper Rush find himself in a Nick Foles type of situation where he's going to, because there's some quarterback openings out there. There's some people that are looking for solid quarterbacks. But is he that guy? Is this real, or is this an anomaly? Is this a Nick Foles anomaly that's going on out there? Or is he legit?
I think the best comparison, and I know it's a small sample size, so maybe we got to pump the brakes a little bit, but I bring up Jimmy G. And that's just the comparison that I can think of off the top of my head, because Jimmy G doesn't do anything spectacular. He's surrounded by a good team with good weapons, a defense, and you can Deebo Samuel for the 49ers, CeeDee Lamb for the Cowboys, a dual running back situation where you have Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard. I think that's your best comparison. And to be honest with you, Strick, I don't know if another team takes a shot on him, because no one has with Jimmy G. But if you're the Cowboys, similar to 49ers, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's the way I look at it.
And you know what? The 49ers, like, you tried it out with Trey Lance. It didn't look great. And now you insert Jimmy G, and no one can beat him.
Yeah.
It's such a bizarre
It's
situation.
just scary that you have somebody that's not yet sure on what's going on with the thumb situation. And to insert him into this kind of game with this magnitude, let's hear what the Honda Lincoln Hotline has to say.
Yeah, we'll go to the Honda Lincoln Hotline where we have Chance. Chance, what's on your mind?
I say you leave him in. They got good chemistry. He's got the mojo. And you have Dak ready to go in case he's in over his head. Anybody remember Trent Dilfer?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he win a Super Bowl
He
by
did.
barely being a good quarterback?
He did.
Hello?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And then also, what was the quarterback for Baltimore the year that they won it coming from the wild card? I can't remember.
Joe
who it was.
Flacco.
Flacco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of some other ones, but I just don't think you mess with the chemistry right now. I hate to see that Dak lose his job because of an injury, but Dak always gets hurt. That's kind of been his MO. He's getting paid to get hurt. Leave him in, keep the team chemistry going, have Dak ready to go if he gets in over his head. You don't mess with a winning streak.
Yeah, Chance, appreciate the call. Thanks, man.
I think I'm feeling that move a lot better than to try to just throw Dak back into that fire. I mean, listen, believe it or not, there's something that exists in sport. It happens in any sport, basketball, baseball, where injury, football, where injury, there's that initial feeling of like it's easy to do when you're just throwing warm-ups. It's easy to do when you're just kind of just tossing the ball. But when the pressure's on, when guys are running down your neck, when you're trying to make a move, a cut, and you've had an injury, there's just that little thought in your mind that's like, ooh, what
his
if?
ankle injury was gross.
You know what I mean?
It was nasty.
It takes a second, man. It's not something that you can just, I don't care what anybody says that's listening on this line or listen, when you're an athlete, I remember returning from a high ankle sprain, and it just that extra push that you felt that pain or you felt that little twinge, it takes a second to get over that. And I just can't envision Dak Prescott coming off, just getting his stitches removed October the 4th.
Right.
And now you're having to make pressure throws, quick throws. You're having to make on the dime passes with that feel. You're going to feel that. I don't care what anybody says. There's going to be something.
Right.
It's the same thing with golf. If you have a back twinge, think about like Tiger and all those guys. You have a back twinge, Phil Mickelson.
Right.
You have a back twinge. It's turning on that, and you get to that one spot where you feel it, where it just throws your swing off just enough to not allow you to make the full contact that you need in order to hit the shot that you need to hit. So that's the way I look at it. That's
the thing too is Dak, for what it's worth, Jerry Jones is instigating the hell out of this. So he hears the rumors, he hears the chatter. He probably wants to come back sooner than later and prove that he can still be the starter. It's just such an odd situation. We're going to head to the Starter Heyman text line and get some of your guys' thoughts. Ray says Dallas could easily win in Philly and lose against Detroit because that's a very Detroit thing to do. That's also a very Cowboys thing to do. Brad says Rush also hasn't seen a defense like Tampa Bay. He hasn't. That's why it'll be interesting to see what happens, because I guess maybe on that list, the Packers would be the best defense that he'd play. Yeah. But let's not act like the Eagles have a great defense. So I don't know if that would really say much. Mississippi Mud Dog says wrong about Jimmy G. The thing he does that's spectacular is that he knows he's a game manager and he's okay with that role and excels in it. I'd probably say the same thing about Cooper Rush. I think he knows what he is and knows what he needs to do to win. D-Ron has an interesting situation. He says trade Dak to Seattle for Metcalf and 4 first-round picks. Ooh. Hey, I don't know if Seattle's looking for a quarterback because Geno Smith looks pretty good so far.
I don't think they'll give up that anyway. There's no way they're giving up DK Metcalf.
Well, for what it's worth, Geno Smith has looked better than Russell Wilson this season, which is a whole other discussion in itself. Garbage Man says Dak hasn't led you to greatness yet. How about you use this situation to try something new? I agree. I mean, it would be interesting. Texter says leave Dak out. Seriously, Cooper Rush barely threw for 100 yards last week. Dak can do it at left-handed. But this is the interesting thing. And that's what's so interesting is you can say the same thing about Jimmy G. And that's why I keep saying is like I said, like he is mediocre. He gets the job done. He does what he needs to do to win. And I know Dak can do that, but does sometimes Dak maybe get in his own way
tries to
by
do a little
trying
something.
to do a little something, by trying to be that elite quarterback. Because don't get me wrong, if we're just putting next to each other, you just had the eye test. If you had Cooper Rush and Dak Prescott next to each other, absolutely Dak Prescott's the better quarterback. That's not the discussion whatsoever. The discussion is that so far this season, with Cooper Rush under center, the Cowboys haven't lost a game. They are undefeated.
Yeah.
And now you're facing off against the team in your division that is the only competition of winning the division. Maybe the Giants. Maybe we need to pump the brakes a little bit on that. I know VJ wants to say the Giants, but then I pump the brakes a little bit. I think this is a two-team race. It's the Eagles and the Cowboys.
I agree.
And you know what you have to do to win the division? Beat the guy at the top. And the Eagles are at the top. So if they beat the Eagles, do they keep him in?
Well, see, I think you have to.
I agree.
And listen, that's not the only problem they have, though, Nate. They have a running back problem.
They do.
$90 million in Dak. I mean, in Zeke Elliott, which
I
is
don't know
the
why
dumbest
they
thing
did
I've seen.
that.
But Pollard is a beast.
He is.
He's running more yards in less carries, and he does it on the regular.
Yeah.
Than freaking Ezekiel. I would figure out a way if Cooper Rush runs a table, I'm looking at a way to get out of them contracts. That goes back to what we've talked about.
Yes.
I'm going to let you dig into that because I talk a lot about it, and some people may think I'm crazy, but listen, rookie contract quarterbacks or solid quarterbacks surrounded by
Tom Brady taking pay cuts,
top of the line type of, stellar running backs and receivers and tight ends and a good line, I go with that. Then a freaking look. Don't think Patrick Mahomes would love to not freaking be horse collar dang near every time he drops back,
right?
Or he has to freaking make a one of these underarm throws or left-handed throws. He would love to have a little bit more, but they can't do it.
Right?
They can't do it. He's left with Juju Smith-Schuster and
your boy
Valdez-Scantling. Come on, bro. Let's be real. That's not the move. They're basically mediocre guys.
But it works because you have a player like Patrick Mahomes. But Strick, I think what you're kind of getting at here is that you look at these teams that make these pushes. The Chiefs, for what it's worth, when they won that Super Bowl, Mahomes was still on his rookie contract. You look at the Eagles when they won their Super Bowl. Nick Foles stepped in, but Carson Wentz still on his rookie contract. The Bengals last season, who won the AFC against a loaded AFC, Burrow on a rookie contract.
Yes.
So it's something to think about. And I know Cooper Rush isn't a rookie and he's not even anything close to it, but I know for a fact he's not getting paid like Dak Prescott.
He's not getting like that. So I figure if he runs the table, man, hey, listen, how can I get rid? Somebody will take Dak.
Somebody will take. Oh, absolutely, someone will take.
I would trade that. I'd get rid of that salary if I'm, but I ain't the guy, so I can't say on that.
Fred says, "Let the quarterback controversy tear apart the evil empire." That's another thing to it too, Strick. And I think that's honestly maybe the craziest part about it is that I know Jerry Jones is quite the character and all that. He's feeding into it, like he is kind of instigating these rumors. Like, and I seriously think, because Jerry Jones, we all know, is calling the shots here. If Cooper Rush goes on the road and beats the Eagles, I'm telling you right now, I think they leave him in.
I'd have to agree with you. But unfortunately, we got to take a break right now. We can't get any further into this. Thank you, Text Line, for jumping in and helping us out. As GMs, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. We are here, KNTK. We'll be right back on the block right after this.
A good game with good friends. But isn't it time to up the score when it comes to the food? Wings and Rings is here for every football fan. Catch the game on one of their big screens or snag a tail great pack to go. They're cranking up the heat and throwing in mad flavor this season. Stop by your locally owned Wings and Rings on O Street, Meridian Park, or 48th and Old Cheney in Williamsburg Village, or grab some crave-worthy Wings and Rings to go. Make them your go-to destination to watch your team bring home the win. Wings and Rings. Game time just got better.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. The next line's yours.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
People first is more than a nice sentiment. At American Senior Benefits, it's the mission. If you're ready for a career where you can truly put your customers' needs ahead of everything else, this is for you. American Senior Benefits is one of the leading senior market insurance product distributors in the country, and they're looking for high-energy applicants with strong communication skills. Enjoy on-the-job training, a fun work environment, and unlimited income potential. Visit ASBMidwest.com to learn more. American Senior Benefits.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. And you can check out our spaces before you visit in person with a virtual campus tour. An opportunity to see our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, and Milford as you learn about our programs and areas of study. There are virtual tours of our learning centers too. We can even take you on a personalized virtual tour. Learn more on our website, southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Registration is now open for winter sports leagues for adult basketball and youth basketball through Lincoln Parks and Rec. Adult kickball and volleyball registration are also open. Competitive and recreational leagues are available, so whether you're an athlete, a former athlete, or a wannabe athlete, there's a league for you. Plus, check out their paid opportunities for officials and referees. Contact Lincoln Parks and Rec to learn more or head to teamsideline.com/LincolnNE before October 16th to register your team. That's teamsideline.com/LincolnNE.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew live from Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Brought to you by A1 Automotive, Mullen Motors, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Bauer Underground, Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group, and Ritchie Brothers.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and things are cooking here in Louisville. We are really hitting on all cylinders right now, and deals are off the charts. We've got a lot more new 2022 and 2023 Chevrolet and GMC inventory than we've had in a long time. So make sure you check us out online, or do even better, stop on in the store and let us show you one in person. Our pre-owned lot is plumb full, so take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batstoRats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
This message is for Shauna, my mom who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You taught me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Nate on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
A very happy Wednesday to all of you. Welcome into On the Block. My name is Nate Brennan. He is the Husker Hall of Famer, 9-year NBA vet Eric Strickland. You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket, 402-464-5685. Starter Heyman text line, Honda of Lincoln hotline. As always, we want to hear from you, and we appreciate all of you giving your 2 cents on Dak Prescott versus Cooper Rush. Very interesting situation, and I tell you what, if Cooper Rush somehow manages to beat the Eagles this week, I think Dak Prescott needs to seriously be concerned about getting his job back. You can also check us out on the Starter Heyman video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. If you head over to YouTube, give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a share. We appreciate all of you helping us get to 2,000. Our goal now, 3,000. But we're going to head to the Honda of Lincoln hotline, where we have Brian Munson with On3, Husker Online. Brian, how you doing today?
I'm good. That whole Cooper Dak discussion is very, very prevalent in my household, being down here in Dallas. That is a very interesting situation that they have got to work through.
Now, I'll go ahead and ask you then. I'll put you on the spot. Would you, if Cooper Rush can beat the Eagles on the road, do you stick with him?
You have to. I mean, first of all, it's the highest that the Eagles have flown in how long? I mean, it's been a long, long time since the city of brotherly love has had any type of success. And now all of a sudden Jalen's got them there early, and Jalen's having a heck of a season, right? And they've made some really good moves to kind of shore up their roster and give him some more weapons around him. And he's getting it done with both his arm and his legs. I really feel like, cause that game's in Philly, right?
Yes.
I mean, that even adds to the intrigue about this even more, because it's like, if you can go on the road, Cooper gets it done. Well, he got it done against LA on the road though last weekend. So I think just because it's a divisional opponent and the fact that they are sitting probably at number 1 in the power rankings, you know, with the Bills being there and Kansas City being there as well. If he can go on the road and beat those guys, I don't know how you make that switch back, just because of where you're running currently and the fact that I think that they need to win the East. Even though the G-men are playing really well too. Yeah. I got a feeling that the wheels will fall off of that one maybe sooner before they could potentially fall off on the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys have a more talented team, top to bottom.
Yeah, I completely agree, Brian, and that's what me and Strick were talking about. It's if this guy is undefeated and he still hasn't lost a game going against the division leaders right now, I think it'd be a tough move to go ahead and bench him. But Brian Munson, Husker Online on 3, joining us right now. So we'll switch over to the college football side, and we're getting ready for Purdue. So Mark Whipple took to the podium, talked about second half adjustments, how he kind of talked to his team and said, we're going to win this football game. Now that Nebraska kind of has a taste for winning, taste for this coach speak saying we're going to win this football game, they actually get it done. How do you think that's going to show up on the field here moving forward through the rest of the season?
Hopefully play faster. And look, there's a pretty good difference already between, how they're playing now currently, whether it's from the time frame of the OU game and not having Scott Frost around, or to when Shins gets replaced and you're working with Coach Bush then at defense, and you're really working with your current staff, right? Let's kind of put it that way. I think that there's a pretty considerable difference with how they're kind of moving around and playing football right now in comparison to like Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern seemed like a team that wasn't confident, doubted themselves, probably had a few things too much, on their plate on any given down in any given situation that they were kind of accounting for. And they needed simplification, particularly on defense, to be able to kind of, get some of those those keys and things that they were responsible for, basically off of their list, and allow them to kind of read and react a little bit sooner. And that's really where the speed comes down from. If you're sitting out there with, some really old, Intel Pentium chip versus some new hot, quad core, Pentium chip, things are a lot faster with the Pentium chip. Well, it gets faster either with the hardware upgrade, whether that's the player or whatever, or you just don't task it with quite as much, and you allow it to kind of go out there and just kind of do the minimal amount of things that it needs to do to essentially then complete the task on any given play, any given down. So I think that I think the confidence is coming around. I think that they get those 2 Big Ten wins. They go on the road. They have to fight, scratch, scrape to get that win out there in Piscataway. Wasn't beautiful. They did squeak it out at the end. They showed some things. They had some, Casey Thompson's got moxie. That kid's got toughness. He is a leader. And I think that now, if you can prop that guy up, kind of stand behind him and say, this guy's going to help us get it done, and his position coach is saying, we're going to win now, at Purdue, you got to keep that belief kind of going, because it's contagious. It's contagious whether it's positive or it's negative in the locker room.
So listen, Brian, I have a quick thought, and I want to just really let you explore this whole thing. It hasn't been a lot of conversation coming out of the camp on the defensive side, but what is your true assessment thus far of Bill Busch?
Well, I know he's getting more out of the guys. Well, okay, let's back up. He's made some assessments, or has made some changes, leading me to believe that he may not have been aligned with the personnel that Chenander was putting out there on the field first and foremost. There are guys that have seen their playing time go through the roof, where they've been completely off the radar, like Herzog, or you had a guy like Hill potentially that that was a starter for the first 4 games that now is potentially staying at wide receiver, trying to find a way to still have a role with the team, right? That's first and foremost. I think that there was an assessment that was made at when it comes down to the personnel, and he made some changes, and I think for the most part, I think that those changes have been positive. And then I think after that, kind of getting back to what I was saying before, it's like I think he's kind of taken the complexity out of the defense and simplified things for those guys. And I think that there were some really weird looking defensive fronts that Nebraska rolled out there, particularly against like Georgia Southern. And I just looked at them and scratched my head. And I said, okay, we're getting exotic, which leads me to believe that you're truly gimmicky, because you can't roll out in your base and just go out there and beat a team. And I had just watched Texas and Alabama, and those 2 teams were literally, coming out of their base 4-3 looks and bringing pressure from everywhere against, obviously a very good team. Texas just ran right over Oklahoma, and obviously Alabama is where they are at. So those are 2 teams that can just line up toe to toe and say, I don't have to do anything special. I don't have to give you some weird look where guys are moving around, in the pre-snap reads, and have guys standing up and talking and barking and trying to get you to do stuff, any type of snap infraction or like that. I can just line up and say, okay, let's play. I can go out there and just get after you. That's what Nebraska football needs to get back to. They need to get back to where saying, look, we're comfortable in this base set because we can get you with pressure from the mic. We can get you with pressure from the outside guys. We can do twists inside with the outside guys, and we can give you pressure there. And guess what? We're bringing the safety. We're bringing the cat. We can bring pressure from any one of those positions, and we can roll coverage in the secondary, and we can put linebackers on receivers and not feel bad about them. But we can generate pressure essentially out of that base look, as opposed to getting exotic and potentially giving the other team something to kind of exploit and get them into a better play to kind of, run right at where they see that thing that they can exploit. So I think he's simplified things, and I think he's getting more out of the base look.
Brian Munson, On3 Husker Online. Brian, I know you've been studying Purdue, kind of getting ready for the matchup here this upcoming weekend. What would you say is the one thing that worries you about Purdue for Nebraska? But then on the flip side of that, what are some things that Nebraska can exploit?
Yeah, their quarterback scares me.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to kind of
Right.
Aiden O'Connell,
Yeah,
six-year quarterback. Yeah. He's good. He's really, really good. I think he's the best quarterback that Nebraska is gonna have seen up to this point, and that's not a shot across the bow at anybody. I think he can really sling it around, and I think that's what's made Georgia Southern tough, is that you had a very veteran, experienced quarterback that had the experience of coming into Lincoln before, and playing against Nebraska, before, and you're gonna have a guy that's seen a lot, that's experienced a lot, and has a very confident team now, or a team that's built a lot of confidence basically from week one. How can they exploit it? Well, I think obviously Nebraska is finding ways to get things done on offense, despite some very bad breakdowns on the offensive line. Anthony Grant, to me, it's tough to imagine where things might be right now without Grant and without Palmer. Those are two guys that have been so critically essential to. Even if you had Thompson and you did not get those two guys, it is very difficult to fathom where this team could be right now. They are essentially, two of the best at their position in the conference, basically in the nation. I think that Nebraska still has got basically two really good playmakers at their respective positions when it comes to those guys. I think Casey's still building confidence. I think they just can go out there and just do what they have been doing. I think that they can run the football. I think Grant is capable of doing that. It hurts a little bit not having Irvin back there in the rotation. I liked a couple things that you were getting out of him last Friday night. But yeah, I think I wouldn't get too far away from doing anything that I was comfortable doing with the other games. And I think that they need to kind of find the wheelhouse for their offense and what they do effectively, and stay there, particularly against those really good football teams. And I would want to try to take some time off the clock. And I think the run game is going to be essential to do that.
Brian Munson, On3 Husker Online. For what it's worth, Brian, I saw Pro Football Focus release their top 5 graded receivers in the country, and Trey Palmer was 5th, which is pretty impressive. Before we let you go, just one more thing I wanted to ask you. Tommy Hill, it looks like he's officially moving over to receiver. Isaiah Garcia Castaneda enters the transfer portal. What do you kind of make of all this?
Well, with Isaiah, first of all, I think that's a situation that started out really good against Northwestern, right, and it kind of went bad very quickly. I mean, he had some drops, he had a fumble or two that were very costly, and I think that's tough when those types of plays, those negative plays, come up in bad situations that kill drives, that kill conversions, that keep points off the board and ultimately cost your team a win. You're looking for ways to keep your offense going, and you don't want to keep people on the football field that take away from that. And I know that those are bad situations. You don't want to sit there and judge a guy, just on those bad situations alone, because he has had some really good plays up to that point. But they were stacking up, and they were very, very recent, and it happened just in those recent games. So I think that's really what ended up costing Isaiah, I think. Plus, I think that there was an injury in there, too, that didn't help anything out, when it came to him, sticking around in Lincoln. And I think for Hill, he's a very good athlete. I talked to him, before he committed to Arizona State, because Nebraska was very high on his list. And basically, that was something that we talked about. We talked about whether or not he was an offensive or defensive guy. And because he was clearly tearing it up, in high school. So he's a very athletic dude, and it's not too surprising that if cornerback was not going to be his home, that Nebraska was able to find another spot where he could be of use and of value. And that was pretty big words for Casey to talk about, how they've already kind of built a very quick chemistry together, and what kind of, what he can kind of do and add things to that room already.
Yeah, it'll be certainly interesting to see Tommy Hill on the offensive side of the ball. Pretty cool there. Brian, I know that you guys are still giving away all of your content basically for free. I don't know how you guys are able to support your families, but as Husker fans, we appreciate it. If you want to get more great content from you, how can they do so?
Come on over to Husker Online. It's on the On3 network. Yeah, it is very, very cheap right now. We're in that coaching search kind of window where we're having a special right now for 12 months for $10.
Oh my gosh.
So it's cheap. It's cheaper than a combo meal. So come on over there, because it's a gift that keeps on giving, Clark, for a whole year.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys get away with that, but we'll definitely, again, take it as Husker fans. Brian, we appreciate you as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Yep. See you guys.
All right, there he goes. Brian Munson On3 always does great stuff. And like you said, it's only $10 for 12 months, which I don't know how that works out, but he's still putting food on the table. He's still producing some great content. So definitely want to check them out over there at Husker Online. We got to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to be giving away a signed Eric Strickland picture. We got a trivia question for you, so make sure you stick with us because you've got a chance to win. That'll be coming up right now, or coming up next right here on the block.
The days of internet contracts and heavy fine print are over. It's time to experience hassle-free service with no contracts or hidden fees. That's the Allo promise. Allo Communications provides fiber internet, TV, and phone services with fair and no-nonsense pricing. All backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, 24/7 local support 365 days a year, and a monthly bill you can count on. Don't settle for gimmicks. Settle for hassle-free with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/hassle-free.
Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Waverly Distribution Center. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day work week schedule with additional overtime days, with both day and night shift schedules available. Stand-up forklift and high-reach forklift experience is a plus for open positions, but they're willing to train for those without experience. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
It's tailgate season. Why would you bounce around from place to place for all your beverage needs when you could have it all in one place? Wine, Beer, and Spirits has everything for your parties with their 3 locations in Lincoln, Grand Island, and Omaha. It's the largest liquor store in the state, and here's the best part. You can get a drink from their bar and walk around with it as you shop for all your tailgate necessities. Locally owned and operated, it's Wine, Beer, and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. And you can check out our spaces before you visit in person with a virtual campus tour. An opportunity to see our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, and Milford as you learn about our programs and areas of study. There are virtual tours of our learning centers too. We can even take you on a personalized virtual tour. Learn more on our website, southeast.edu/visit-SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. The next line's yours.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Trendy or traditional, Gary Michaels Clothiers specializes in men's tailored clothing.
Off the rack or custom made to measure, there is simply no better shopping experience. Offering designer furnishings, sportswear, shoes, outerwear, and accessories for a man always concerned at looking his best. With world-class tailoring and personal service, all makes Gary Michaels Clothiers Nebraska's premier store for men. Come visit us now at Village Gardens, south of 56th and Pine Lake Road in Lincoln.
From selling a home to even building one, you're doing a lot and need a lender who can help you do it. Like Elizabeth Rezac of Security First Bank.
With over 25 years of experience as a mortgage loan officer, I take pride in helping borrowers find the right loan for their next home.
Mortgage lending from Security First Bank. We're the bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 505011 and 483558.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Nate on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to On the Block. It is Strick and Nate. We're going to finish up this segment with a little giveaway. Oh, yeah. We're going to make it happen right here, right now, on the block. It's about to go down.
It's going down for real.
If you're on the Sutter-Heyman text line, you will be able to tap in on this as well. The rules for the game is you must be within 10 percentage points.
It's 10 points.
Percentage point. I was trying to throw it out there. I didn't want to give him a hint. But you got to be within 10 points of this specific question. The question is this. E. Strick is a part of the 1,000-point club. How many points over the course of my career at the University of Nebraska did I score? You got to be within 10 points. You will get this.
That is awesome.
If you're able to get it on the Sutter-Heyman text line.
Signed photo.
How many points did I score in the career of my time here as a Husker? 1655, Thomas of Lincoln stated.
No.
We're not there.
You gotta be within 10 points. Signed Eric Strickland photo on the line.
You can also,
that one's a cool one too.
You can also be on the stream. Anywhere on the stream as well.
You check the stream.
The stream is messy right now. Some foolishness.
Oh, we got it.
Somebody hit it.
We got it. Someone did a half point. Drew and Lincoln, come on. He said a half point. But yes, we got it.
We've got a winner.
Tater.
Once again, Tater steps in, is the winner.
Our winner.
He said 1580 and the actual number.
1586.
86. I think Tater quit Google.
Boom shakalaka.
I think he quit Google.
And then he had to, but then, I mean, he got away with it because it wasn't right on the dot. I think that would have been a little bit fishy if it was right on the dot. That's pretty impressive, though.
Tater.
Yeah, pretty good, Tater.
Tater, call in and we'll get your information. It will be waiting here at the ticket.
Yeah.
But right now, unfortunately, we've got to turn out and we'll be back. We're losing the Hokie Homer.
I know. I'm going back home. Gobble, gobble, gobble.
We got DP,
gobble,
Jay Foreman, and Old School. Where are they at tonight?
Tanners. Yeah, they're Tanners. 30th and Yankee Hill. 30th and
Yankee Hill. They'll be out at Tanners. Go out there and say hello.
Callahan's joining them too.
Got some great food, some great beverages.
Yeah, oh yeah. You know.
But we'll be back tomorrow, same time, Bat Channel, 2 to 4. You can find us here on the block. We're losing the Hokie Homer. We'll see who's going to be the guest with me tomorrow. But we'll see you then. 93.7 The Ticket FM. We're out. And in the words of my friend Rico, adios.
Go Hokies.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for